We're going to be riding the Mississippi. This is Fort Madison, where we're going to be spending the night. This is the old fort that they have restored, and in the background is the bridge that we're going to be crossing back into Illinois. It used to be a toll bridge. I don't know if it still is. If they're collecting tolls, I'll just pay for everybody so that we don't plug up the bridge trying to get over, and then you guys can square up with me when we get down the road. After we get over the bridge, we're going to take a right and we're going to go down river quite a ways. And we're going to run into a town that's about 15 miles down the road. It's called Nauvoo. Back in the early 1800s, Nauvoo used to be one of the largest towns in Illinois. They had a very large Mormon population, and the culture and the ideology of the Mormons really didn't fit in with the locals. They arrested their leader, Joseph Smith, and his brother Hiram. I think this was in the 1840s. They were incarcerated at the Carthage County Jail in Illinois, which is about 25 miles from where this picture's taken. And mysteriously, both of them were shot during the night. The number two man, Brigham Young, decided they better get the heck out of Dodge. They headed west to Salt Lake City. And the rest, as they say, is history. One of the things that's happened in the last probably 30 years, the Mormons have started moving back and buying up the land. They're wanting to reclaim their heritage. When we go over the bridge, we're going to go downriver about 15 miles, and we're going to pass the Mormon temple that they've built. And they started buying up the land in the area, and they've restored some of the old buildings. When we go through downtown Nauvoo, the building on the right, you'll see after we get through downtown, there's a large building on the right. That's the temple. We'll go down a hill to a flat area. Over on your right, you'll see some old restored buildings. The Mormons are doing that. And it's kind of an urban legend that there is gold buried over there. And if you come down there with your metal detector, you'll probably start out and be politely asked to leave. And if you don't, then it won't be so polite. This is our planned trip. On Saturday, we will depart the Pilot gas station just north of Interstate 80 on 47. I'll take that west for a ways, and we will exit the highway at exit 56, travel north until we hit Route 30, kind of wander and meander, crossing the river at Clinton, Iowa, and we'll hug the river going south. And I forgot to mention, we're going to 93 miles down the road, we're going to hit a gas stop at Casey's in whatever town this is, Rock Falls. Going to go through Davenport along the river, and we're going to have lunch at the Front Street Brewery and continue on. Gas up again at the Shell gas station, which is 169 miles down the road. Continuing south through Muscatine, kind of do some bobbing and weaving. And we're going to go through Burlington, Iowa. We're going to do a little loop through this. This area here is kind of interesting. So we'll do a little loop there for a couple blocks. We're going to stop at Crapo Park. It's Crapo, not Crapo. And there's a scenic overlook here where we can take some pictures and ooh and ah. And we will continue on to Fort Madison. The locals call this the West End, which is on the west end of town. There's a gas station and breakfast place along it. This is called Avenue L. And then we're going to eat at Buffalo 61 down here, just right on the curve. The next morning at 7 o'clock, before we turn in for the night, I'm asking everybody to top your tank off so we can hit the road kind of early, 7:30 ish. I'm going to hit the trail, go back through town. We're going to cross the Fort Madison Bridge. This was built by the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe. It used to be a toll road. I think I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if they're still collecting tolls or not. If they are, I'll just pay for everyone. That way we don't plug up the bridge with a bunch of motorcycles. Don't want to upset the locals. Crossing the bridge, I'm going to head south. I'm going to go down through Nauvoo. Talked about that earlier. This area down in here is the part that they're restoring and where all the gold is stored. I'm going to hug the river. Along in this area here, there's a house that looks really out of place. It is palatial. It belongs to a lawyer. Imagine that. The Mormon temple is right in this area right here. I forgot to mention that, but anyway, it's this little curve here is right before you get through town, and I think the temple's actually over here. Okay, it's right before you take this turn to the left, and you're going downhill. Anyway, continuing on down to the south, go through Ursa. This is about 20, 30 miles north of Quincy. I'm going to head to the east. Going to have gas stop at Rushville. Follow the Illinois River. We're going to gas up again just south of Peoria. We're going to take the bypass around Peoria. Hopefully we can hit Lacan 12:30, 1 o'clock. They're going to stay open for us. They know we're coming, so that's the plan there. Head on up back north, and we're going to gas up again at this gas station right here. I guess that's Oglesby. I don't know what town that is, but whatever town it is, that's where we're going to gas up. I was planning on going through Starved Rock on the way home. We'll hug the river, cross at Ottawa, go through Marseilles, and then on home. If we're running long, when we hit 39, we'll just get on the interstate and turn east on 80 and head for home. And we will end our ride where we started, at the Pilot gas station. Hope to see everybody there. Okay, for the stuff that makes everybody's eye roll, I'm assuming everybody's ridden in groups before. When we get on the interstate, we're going to try and get in the left lane and stay there. So that's one lane change. And with a little bit of luck, we only have to do one more lane change. We're going to exit at mile marker 56. So around mile marker 60, we're going to get over to the right. That'll give us 4 miles to hopefully get everybody over there. Lane changes are safest when initiated from the back to the front. I've got helmet-to-helmet communication with the sweeper, but with the 20 some odd bikes we're going to have and the distance we're going to be spread out, I have my doubts as to whether or not that's going to work and how well. Anyway, we want to change lanes from the back to the front. The people in the back act as blockers. If you go to change lanes, like the guy with the red arrow here, if he puts his turn signal on, that car in his blind spot might be a good Samaritan. He's going to let him change lanes in front of him. The fact of the matter is he wants to get behind him. So note to self, don't put your turn signal on if there is a car in your blind spot. He, despite his best intentions, isn't helping you by letting you in. You want to get in behind him. Hopefully we can get everybody over before we have to exit. When we stop for gas, I ride every chance I get in the summer. I usually ride in the back. I don't lead that many rides, but anyway, when we stop for gas and I'm in the back, excuse me, I usually park the bike first, take care of Mother Nature, and then when I come out, there's usually some open gas pumps, and everybody else is using the facility. So if you're in the back of the line, you might consider nature first, gas second. I haven't really seen this as much of a problem, but when we're out in the country and we're making a turn, the person on the inside of the turn has got a shorter distance to travel to make the turn. Keep back a safe distance from the person in front of you, to the side of you. They've got a longer turn radius. You don't want to overtake them. They might have to dodge pothole, gravel, or dead animals. So make sure your front tire does not pass the back of the tire of the person that is to your side. And aside from that, I think that's the cliff notes. So see everybody Saturday. Ride safe.